All right. Well, good evening, and thanks for being on here. I'll just get right to it. My name is Graham Morgan, and I've been with AdvoCare now for almost 4 years. Coming up in June, it's been 4 years here, and so just tell you my story and where I've come from, and keep an open mind through this whole thing, and know that everything I'm doing is just to be a good waiter to you and to share all the options that AdvoCare has in the menu of AdvoCare and allow you to choose what's the best fit for you and for your life. Because almost 4 years ago, I was running track at Ohio State, and the product, the performance product, was a great uh, option for my life and something that AdvoCare provided very well. And I fell in love with the product. And, from there, just saw the opportunity of people earning extra money. And so I went out and I thought, $2,000 a month would make a major difference for me as 2 years left in college. And so that's what I went out to do. And in 6 months, it was $3,200 that month. And so that just continued to move forward and allowed my vision for what I saw AdvoCare to be for myself to just continue to grow. And as it continued to grow, my income continued to grow. And so I was able to graduate college completely debt-free and able to not have to go find a job like so many of my friends were having to do and struggling with doing. I didn't have to worry about that. And it was an incredible blessing. And then got married last August and was able to pay off my wife, Hillary's car and student loans. And so now we live completely debt-free and looking to buy a house now, or actually and purchasing a house. And the plan is to have that paid off in the next 2 years. And it's all a blessing of what AdvoCare has done and provided for us. But, it all started as a part-time opportunity. And so, again, I want to say thanks. I know this is your evening and your time to get on here. And what we're going to do is just go ahead and go through a little bit more about AdvoCare and what it is, who we are as a company, and why, why in 2011 when I started, we were $150 million in sales, and AdvoCare is going to push over $1 billion in sales. So the growth is astronomical right now. It's unbelievable. And so we're going to talk about why some of that is. And so, for tonight, we want to talk about why AdvoCare. And maybe even more importantly, why for you? What does AdvoCare mean to you? Why would you get started? Because that's what it's all about here is why. What would an extra $500 a month? If I had an extra $500 a month for you, what would you do for it? Would you have a place for it to go? Are you saving what you want to save? Are you able to get your kids what you want to get? Are you able to go on vacation where you want to go? So that's, what it's all about. And, AdvoCare started only to do two things. Started in 1993. We're based out of Plano, Texas. Over 70 nutritional products in 5 different categories of products. 250 years plus of science and hundreds of world-class endorsers. And we do two things and two things extremely well. We help people in their health and help people in their finances. And in the areas of health, with energy, with weight management, with sports performance, wellness, and skin quick care. And then in finances, extra income, a plan B, debt freedom. That was, a huge one for us. A flexible work schedule. Are you able to do the things that you want? Pick your kids up from school, get to all their games, earn income 5 different ways, and be a part of a winning team. A team that makes a difference. And so Charlie Regis, our founder, started AdvoCare to give the world's finest nutrition products through the direct selling model to give everyday people the opportunity to live an extraordinary life. Somebody like me and you to live an extraordinary life. And our CEO now, Richard and Sherry Wright, are just incredible. You can see there, Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year, incredible people leading our company here, and signing another 6-year contract extension. So we know they're going to see us through, over the $1 billion mark and starting to make our mark internationally. We've gone across the United States here, and the opportunity in the United States it couldn't be any greater, with people starting to recognize the AdvoCare logo, people starting to know who AdvoCare is, and that's all being led by Richard and Sherry Wright. And then right from the beginning, who's formulating these products? When Charlie Regis started AdvoCare, he didn't know science, and neither do I, but he founded the Scientific and Medical Advisory Board with over 250 years of medical, not just experience, but medical experience, to help formulate our products. And two of them, the first two there, I want to point out to you, Dr. Stanley Dudrick and Dr. William Kramer. Dr. Dudrick pioneered intravenous feeding. He pioneered essentially the IV, and it started out, the story is that babies were being born prematurely and nobody was able to keep them alive. And so that's when he went to work and founded intravenous feeding. And the second one, Dr. William Kramer, wrote nearly all my textbooks, brought exercise science to the United States, and now at Ohio State University, just doing incredible work there. But that was a huge name to me as an athlete and exercise science major, to see that, AdvoCare is one of the companies that has a guy that wrote nearly all my textbooks, that does the research that's in the universities to make this company what it is. And then champion endorsers, just unbelievable endorsers, hundreds of endorsers, from Rich Froning, Jason Witten, you can see it, Nick Foles, CrossFit, football, soccer, golf, David Toms, volleyball with Michelle, NASCAR, Richard Petty and Trevor Bayne. It's just unbelievable. And what I saw is that these people rely on their body. They rely on their ability and their physical ability. And when you look at it, 80% of what you look from perform like is what you put in your body. And so they rely on AdvoCare to do that. And, we don't pay them money to do that. We give them a product stipend. That's the only thing that they get. So we're not paying them millions of dollars to show their face like Jason Witten, can get somewhere else, or Phillip Rivers and Richard Petty and some of these guys. Sponsorships, the official sports nutrition partner of the MLS is incredible. The AdvoCare Bowl, the AdvoCare Kickoff Classic, the number 6 car, the stuff that we have out there, just making it easier and easier for AdvoCare distributors to make a difference, to build their business. And I can tell you, being around for 4 years, we didn't have this stuff when I started. And when I started, it was tough. And now that the name's out there, there's more and more people. It's not even close to being saturated. It gets easier and easier because, less than 1% of the country even know what AdvoCare is, have even heard it. And then it's even a smaller percent that truly know what AdvoCare is and what we do. And so we're just on the tip of the iceberg, not even under the water yet, where the iceberg really gets big and we really start to see results and things change. And it just allows people to come to you that you wouldn't otherwise know, in the form of leads that AdvoCare provides from nationally televised things. When the fall comes around and we have our commercials going on, our Drew Brees commercials and our Jason Witten commercials, it's unbelievable. And we get extra leads, we get free business from that, from the name of AdvoCare and the quality of product. And so in AdvoCare, just know, like I said, keep an open mind. There's 4 relationships here. There's 4 ways to get involved. And the first one is a retail customer. You could just simply want the product, and that's awesome. And the second one, a wholesale customer. You just, you want the product and you want it at a 20 to 30% discount, just like a Sam's Club or a Costco. You get your own account with no minimums, no requirements, no fee, no goofiness whatsoever. You just get your account. And the only requirement to keep any account of any discount is just a $50 annual renewal fee each year. That's it. And so the first 2 ways are product-based. Now this presentation tonight is going to be more about numbers 3 and 4. So if you want product, get with the person that got you on here, and we can certainly help you on product. But numbers 3 and 4 is really about earning extra income. from an extra $500 a month to pay off those credit cards to $5,000 a month to start to really make a difference, to start to save for retirement, to pay cash for things as a part-time opportunity, and then up to $50,000 a month and $100,000 per month, and that's all possible here in AdvoCare. We have proof of over $400,000 a month in income, and so that's what we're going to talk about here. And we get paid 5 different ways. So the very first way you can see there is retail profits. That's just simply, if you're at the 40% discount and somebody purchases product from you, you make a 40% profit right there. So if somebody purchases $200 worth of product, you would make $80. A wholesale earnings, the second way we get paid based on product, again, here is that if you're at 40% and somebody else has that wholesale membership at 20%, you're going to make that 20% difference, the difference between 20 and 40%. So if you sell $200, you're going to make $40 on that. Now, the cool thing there is that really is kind of a residual income. That's something that's coming in when somebody has their own account. They order from the comfort of their home, and AdvoCare cuts you that check. And then incentives, overrides, and leadership bonuses, incredible things that AdvoCare does, and only available to advisors. And so just know that the overrides and leadership bonuses, how you build big income here in AdvoCare. We get a 7% override, and that's just basically through building a sales force, through building a team of coaches that go out and help people on these products. And then the leadership bonuses, the override 7%, leadership bonuses are 3 to 19.5%. And I just call it a performance-based raise, because it's really just based on how well you're doing, and you get that. And a lot of times once you get that extra bonus there, you lock that in for a lifetime from 3 to 19.5%. So you can see how these numbers can really start to get large, where you're working on $5,000 and $10,000 a month of residual income. And that all happens once you unlock the full potential that AdvoCare has of becoming an advisor. And so let's look at the difference. Just to become a distributor, that's the very first step you would take here, and that's just $79. You start to earn income 2 ways, and you start to get 20 to 30% discount on your product. Now, when you become an advisor, you can see that's a $79 distributor fee, and you accrue $3,000 worth of retail product. All right, and we'll talk about that here in a second, but you get to earn income 5 different ways, a 40% discount on your product, a 40% profit, and then the 2 types of big residual incomes. You get a rookie bonus, trips, contests, and you have a business owner's mindset. And so let's look at those levels. Like it says, first step, enroll as a distributor, $79. And so if you're on here and you're thinking, maybe I want this as a business, that's the first step. Become a distributor. You get a retail website and a virtual office that takes care of all of the heavy lifting, packaging, shipping, reports, all of that stuff. You also get $58 of samples. And from there, that puts you at that bottom level there, the 20% level. And then you can see, what does it take to get to the 25% level? An investment of $375, you receive $500 of product, whatever product you choose. And right there, you get a profit of $125, you can see. And then let's go up to that 40% level, an investment of $2,100. You receive $3,000 worth of product, a $900 profit, you can see. And once you're at this discount level, you're there for a lifetime. All discounts are for life. Okay, so an investment of any amount, any sort, is never to be done again. Not next month, not next year, never. And that was appealing to me, because I looked at this and I thought, $3,000, that's like putting product on my shelf. It gets my business started, and that's what I did. And I got started in this business and made it, just over $700 my very first month by simply helping people that I knew, needed help, and that there's a huge need in the marketplace for the product that we have. And so you can see, what do you profit from becoming an advisor? $900 profit. your initial investment, $2,100 plus shipping and tax, it ends up being about $2,300. So that, you know, you can see that's where a profit would really be. Let's call it more like like $700. You receive $3,000 of product. Again, that's whatever product that you want. And then you get a 40% discount. The initial order is at a 30% discount. And then from there on, you save the most money. You become eligible to earn all 5 ways, to earn trips, to earn bonuses. Everything is wide open, the biggest profit margins. And you know what that really looks like is about 2 to 3 weeks of inventory. And once that inventory is gone, there's no requirement to carry inventory again. And so just so, you know, you can see this down in the bottom right-hand side. You know, you want to invest in your business. You want to invest in impact magazines. You know, that's and we'll talk about that at the end. But and you can talk to the person that got you on this. But how do you use that? And how do you use the DVDs and the training CDs? Retail receipts, catalogs, things like that, that you can go into the marketplace and use the tools. And that's how a new person gets started here, is not by saying the right thing to the right person, but mastering the tools and knowing how to use them. And so what we're going to do now is I'm just going to share a couple stories, you know, of people that got to Advisor, just like myself. We got to Advisor, and in 16 days, I had my money back out of the red into the black, and earning a profit here in this business. You know, helped a gentleman just earn that $500 rookie bonus, $1,600 his very first month. Help a gentleman retire from P&G, and you know, they all started by making an investment, making a commitment. Maybe not all necessarily right to the Advisor level immediately, but they made an investment and a commitment using the tools and treating this as a business. And one of those stories is Josh and Rachel Witt, and I'll let you guys hear that here.
For me, it's just been the first time in my life where I've truly had to fight, and fighting for Josh and for him to get the medical care that he needs, that we refused before AdvoCare because we couldn't afford it. Now I can say, we need to get him exactly what he needs, and I can pay you cash. And that is freedom on so many levels.
I watched last summer as she began her AdvoCare business. Her checks were a quarter of my full-time paycheck, and then they were half, and then they were all in the course of a summer. And she ended up doubling my full-time paycheck. And I was like, okay, AdvoCare's for real.
Absolutely helped us get on the path towards debt freedom. I mean, the fact that we paid over $30,000 in debt in 1 year was absolute freedom for our family. I wasn't, you know, staying awake at night till 2:30 in the morning crying, wondering how bills were going to be paid, because I saw our way out for our family.
Yeah, it's nice to just know that you have options, you know, that you can afford different options, that you can say yes if you choose to say yes, when before you would have had to say no because you couldn't afford it. And that's a blessing. AdvoCare has been peace of mind for us. It's led us to a place in life where we don't have the same worries that we used to have. It's given us really hope, and it's given us a vision for our future that's totally different than anything we ever could have imagined in the past.
Bottom line, all of this only makes sense if it makes sense for you. AdvoCare is all about timing, the timing of the company and your personal timing. You know, it was in a setting very similar to this, that my mind was racing, my heart was pounding. I had anticipation, and I started thinking, how could our life be different if we chose to do AdvoCare? Now, the products, they made sense from the get-go. That's exactly what I needed to make a difference in the quality of my day. My husband, he lost 6 inches in his waist in less than 2 months. He's kept it off for years, and he just doesn't have to think about it anymore. For me, I've gone through every decade feeling like I'm decades younger instead of my age, and keeping up with my children through all the different stages of their life. But let me tell you a little bit more about our story. I want to rewind a little bit. I want to take you back to where my husband Benji and I were when we were introduced to AdvoCare. I was desperately looking for what the AdvoCare products could offer. I was a person, I needed energy. I didn't think that I needed to take a nap before my kids needed to take their nap because they were little and I was big. And I thought, I don't need to do that anymore. AdvoCare products changed the quality of my day. But you know what? My husband Benji and I, we looked at the business of AdvoCare and we saw a chance to go beyond taking products. We saw a chance to go beyond getting our products at a discount. In fact, we saw an opportunity because we saw stories just like you've seen for us to truly rewrite the story of our lives. And in fact, we kind of fast forwarded in our mind and we said, what is it going to be like if we don't change something? In less than 6 months, back in 1999, we matched my husband's 15-year pharmaceutical income. We began to realize that we had hope. Hold on, possibilities exist. That's what I think about with hope. We didn't have hope until that point. We had a great marriage, great family, actually great finances. We were not in debt. And when I say they were great, we were right on the edge. We didn't have debt, we didn't have credit cards, didn't have a car payment, but we were one life event from us joining the rest of the friends and family who were struggling and being in the same situation. So when we looked ahead, we realized that we could compress time. And so with AdvoCare, with a proven system, we were able to get started, love the products, but fall in love with the business opportunity. And it gave us choices that we never thought were possible. So before you decide, let's finish up with this. Let's take it back to you. That's what happened for us. But remember, the whole reason you're here is for you. So before you make your decision, let's finish up with this.
I'm so happy that you got to find out more about AdvoCare. You know, I remember back when Andy and I first got introduced to AdvoCare. I was a school psychologist working part-time and raising my kids, and Andy was working at a chemical plant. As a matter of fact, it was the same chemical plant he had worked at since he was 18 years old. You know, it started with a spark because Andy was a shift worker and I was at home raising kids as he was working long hours. But when we saw what you saw tonight, things started to make sense to us. And I believe and I hope that many of you are having a new vision of what AdvoCare could do for you. I remember thinking these products are great, but what if? You know, what if I could get started in the business and earn enough income to not even work in school psychology at all, to be a full-time stay-at-home mom and still contribute to the family. And you know, stepping into AdvoCare provided that for us. And then my dreams got bigger. For Andy and I, we started thinking about things like cash for college and cash for weddings. And more importantly, having a way to get Andy to come home from the chemical plant. You know, his job was great and it provided amazing things for our family. He always worked so that we could have a great life, but that was the key. And AdvoCare was what made us start thinking about it. Andy's work, Andy's diligence, Andy going to the job every day is why we had a good life. But it was at the expense of his own time. Time away from me, time away from the children. And so for us, the decision to say yes to the bigger picture of AdvoCare, to really step into the business model, changed everything. We have freedom now that we never would have had. Financially, but more importantly, time freedom. A life that looks different because of this company. And as I say that, I want you to think about yourself. Even if you came looking at AdvoCare for products tonight, I want you to understand that there's so much available to you. I hope that there's a hope rising in you. Look a little bit beyond our products and think about the vision of what you really want life to look like. Think about the things in your life that just are not okay with you anymore. For some of you, that may be your health and wellness. And if all you decide to do tonight is to get started on products, we're excited about that. We value that. And the person who's helping you will make sure that these products deliver for you and that they make sense for you and for your goals. But I really want to encourage you to look down the road. I want to encourage you to do what I did, to step out of the comfort zone that you might be in and to think about how life could really and truly be better than it is now because of the financial vehicle. You can take this business at whatever pace you want. You can go as slow or as fast as you want, but if you step in, you will get help. If you step in, I believe you'll start dreaming bigger. I believe you may start setting bigger goals like we did. The choice is up to you, but just remember, whether it's products, whether it's business, AdvoCare is a solution that can truly move you from where you are now in life to a better place. That's what we all want for you. That's why you were invited to find out more about AdvoCare, and we are excited about whatever decision you make. Your next step would simply be get with whoever shared AdvoCare with you and tell them, this is what I see for me at this point in my life. Will you help me? And their answer will be yes. Whether it's product or business, that's your choice. But just know this, you're going to get success if you step into AdvoCare.
So thanks for being on tonight.
Thank you so much for sharing some of your most precious asset, your.
Sorry about that. So thank you so much for being on here tonight. And if you did like what you hear, get back to the person that got you on. And like I said at the beginning, whether that's $100 a month or $100,000 a month, $100,000 a year, $1,000 a month, or maybe that's just to try the product, you know, and that's where you want to start. But is your life exactly what you want it to be? Just like we talked about in the beginning, AdvoCare is all about your why and the burning desires that you have in life and what you have to achieve, and you have a vehicle to get you there. You know, and what I would say is get back to the person and get your hands on these 3 tools, these 3 things. You know, try a Spark if you haven't already. Check out the DVD here, and then the Impact Magazine. All right, and just the stories that are in here of people that have succeeded, just like you, and the life that they have lived, the places that they travel, the beaches that they walk on, the palm trees that they see, you know, the times that they get to go and be with their kids at lunch, the times that they don't have to worry about money. They don't have to worry about getting back from a vacation to pay off that vacation. They don't have to worry about paying off Christmas credit cards. They don't have to worry about a tire that goes flat because they have money in the bank to pay for new tires. You know, from a single mom being able to provide for their kids to somebody that getting out of the job they don't want or getting into a job that they do want. And AdvoCare could provide the transition to that. And if you do see AdvoCare as an opportunity, start to master these 2 tools. You know, master all of these stories in here. Know the stories. Be able to talk about Janelle Warner losing 108 pounds here. You know, and know the stories of Jim and Leslie and what it's done for them in retirement. And be able to share, you know, maybe a couple of these stories for impact with somebody. And the same thing, these the stories are on DVD here. So allowing that person to talk, just like Rachel and Josh Witt did. And then a Spark, you know, a product for impact to share with somebody. It's such an impact to put this in somebody's body and let them see how the products work for themselves. And then learn to use this in a presentation setting. You know, if you share these things with somebody and somebody says, I'm interested, I read the stories, I tried the product, and I'm interested, to be able to share this, just like I did the presentation at the beginning. What is AdvoCare? And what about the product? And, you know, how do we get involved? How do we get paid? Things like that. And to learn these tools and to master them to take your future where you want. And I can tell you the first time I got started, I think I was as nervous as I was excited about, you know, like you can see the beaches that you can travel, the places that you can go, the life that you can live, and it's all possible here. So have a great night and hope to see you soon.